Yo, 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 how's everyone doing today? It is a Tuesday, and so basically how my day went so far, what was it? I got back from, sorry, I needed to pull up my stream roll there so I can put it in my Discord. I woke up at like 9 o'clock, went to class and everything, and got back at like 2 o'clock doing some editing, and now we're playing some Age of Titans, talking, whatever. Honestly, I might, what is it? I might stream, maybe join some Kaiju multiverse as well. I don't know, maybe, because actually, you know what, I did, even though I've heard like some kind of weird things about it, I wouldn't mind like playing it. Okay, so I just spawned in, like just looked at like my screen, and I'm at 560 HP, but let me pull up the stream on one other tab real quick. Perfect. So, you know, here we are playing as, you know, the second strongest version of Godzilla in the Monsterverse Evolved Godzilla. Ion Dragon, Monster X. Wow, thank you. So, guys, what I meant by give me your best takes was not give me some trash. What up, fanships? Welcome to the stream, bro. My day's going pretty good, thank you. Wow. Lizard, thank you. 4 Scar Kings, Ghidorah. I don't even know what that noise I just made was. But, man, I don't even know. Let me try and get my ult real quick, but yeah. What are my thoughts on Monster X? I don't really have too many thoughts on Monster X. I think Monster X is like, alright, you know. What up, Cash? Welcome to the stream, bro. Alright, so I'm at like 300 HP. I'm gonna try and do something. Oh, wait, hold on. He's beaming. No! Alright, guys, I'm about to become the second strongest version of Godzilla. Oh, wait, that's Salt. Yeah, Salt, man, dude, Salt, imagine if I was hitting you with Thermo's beam, bro. Imagine if I was hitting you with Thermo's beam. You would have been one shot instead. So, do I stay supercharged for a bit? I don't really know how. What up, GoGX? Welcome to the stream, bro. That's not Thermo? Yeah, you're right, bro. You're right, yeah. You know, at least right about the part that it's not Thermo. Now, this is the second strongest version of Godzilla in the Monsterverse, man. I don't tell. Okay, how is that gonna hit me? Yeah, honestly, man, I have Ancient Godzilla buff Supercharged Evolved. No, I'm just kidding. That's actually a pretty bad take. But yeah. Base Evolved is very inconsistent. Dude, there's not even a thing as, like, Base Evolved, bro. Godzilla Evolved can supercharge himself whenever he wants to, and he got knocked out by Kong, bro. He's a Kong victim, gang. Yo, let's be real. Ion Dragon slams Thermo? Dude, yeah. Facts, man. Facts. Facts. Evolves a bum. Frostvark, Thermo. Wait. Honestly, that's actually kind of a fire idea. Could the Frostvark, what is it? Absorb all of, Thermo's heat? Because I know, you know, obviously we know in... Damn, okay, hold on, I'm getting worked right now. Obviously, we know in Legacy of Monsters, Frostvark's ability is to, you know, drain heat or whatever. Godzilla fans more better than Kong fans? I don't exactly know why more better. Oh, what? I don't even know how that hits me. It's okay. Not trust Ghidorah, Thermo, no lie. Trusted bro, I'm not a... Yeah, dude, hey, you know what? Look, as much as a Ghidorah fan as I am, and as much as it pained me to see Ghidorah just get no diff like that, you know what? I wish, man. I wish, but not gonna lie, I'm hearing every third word I'm saying. Wow. What up, Acid 877? Welcome to the stream, bro. 20 Thermo Godzilla versus 1 Godzilla Earth. Honestly, wait, realistically, how many Thermo Godzillas would it take to beat Godzilla Earth? Because I think Godzilla Earth clears the Monsterverse quite easily. I think Godzilla Earth is just like crazy powerful, but my brain is melting from these takes. Wow, which takes exactly? 6 or thank you, fanships. Yeah, 6 or 7 thermonuclear Godzillas. Excuse me. Monsters fanboys are the funniest thing to rage bait. Honestly, I agree, bro. Dude, what was it? I posted I posted a YouTube short on TikTok as well, and I was like, Kong beat Godzilla. You know, I was kind of just stating the fact that what was it? Godzilla got knocked out by Kong in Egypt, and oh my god, bro, that video had like 20K views on TikTok, 1,200 comments, 1,200 comments. How does that happen? Oh, okay, so I just can't block. Fans just humorous peak. Oh no, bro, you sound like my girlfriend, bro. My girlfriend still is like trying to like carry 6'7" into 2026, bro. Like, nah, we're leaving it behind, bro. Oh, dude, I keep forgetting 3 is the charge move. Godzilla Earth Loki Buns. He's slow. He's really slow. And if you can get that permeable shield down, then you can do some damage to him. But I just don't, you know, obviously his shield goes down just for briefly after using his atomic breath. 41S? What do you mean, Jinx? Supercharge Evolved Godzilla vs. Muto Prime? Okay, bro. Are we for real? Supercharge Evolved got that. Dude, it's like sometimes people like when they'll come over here and be like, "Oh, dude, you just glazed Thermo or whatever." It's like, dude, trust me when I say this, dude. Yes, I will admit I think Thermo's cooler than Supercharge Evolved. I'm not actually a really big fan of Evolved's design. But trust me when I say this, bro, I will happily, like, dude, I want someone to prove me wrong. I want someone to, like, give me definitive proof that Supercharge Evolved is the strongest form of Monsterverse Godzilla. It's like, it's not happening, bro. It's not happening. Unless you can convince me that somehow Supercharge Evolved wasn't able to one-shot Scar King, and Scar King is somehow more durable than Ghidorah. Because, mind you, a lot of people evolving, oh, dude, the Spiral Ray is the strongest attack in the Monsterverse, but it couldn't one-shot Scar King, and they're like, oh, dude, Scar King got grazed, man, that's why. But it's like, yeah, the same thing happened to Kong with the normal atomic breath, and, you know, Scar King and Kong are relative in durability, so, I mean, like, remind me how? Scar King durability is better than Ghidorah's? Yeah, bro, facts. Facts, Jinx. They have to use the toy box statement. Bro, you're killing me. Bro, Acid, I agree with what you're saying, bro. Honestly, dude, what is it? Bro, again, dude, I put this, so, for those who don't know, I'm gonna make a revamped video, like a refurbished video on my, Supercharged versus Evolved versus Thermo video, because I think my first video was kind of all over the place. It wasn't really, like, very coherent. And it was kind of bouncing around a lot. But also because, like, there are a lot of points that I left out as well. And it's like, okay, bro, think about it like this. Thermonuclear Godzilla, no one ever questioned his power when King of the Monsters came out. They're like, oh my, dude, if he's able to completely destroy Ghidorah, like, one-shot him. Okay, I need to, like, stop talking and lock in on the gameplay, guys, sorry. But, like, if he's able to just, completely one-shot him and absolutely eviscerate him, damn, you know, Thermo's pretty powerful, right? And then you see, like, Evolved, what does Evolved do, bro? Evolved is unable to dent Shimo. He has an anti-feat of not one-shotting Scar King, the same species that dies to lava. And Evolved just relies on statements to do anything. So, I mean, like, yeah, I don't know, man. Oh, dude, I'm getting destroyed. Is my beam not gonna hit him? What? Oh, dude, I'm getting folded. I'm getting folded by a Baragon, bro. I'm actually buns. Okay. Yes, Dagon, please help me! Yeah, guys, Baragon beats Supercharge Evolved, non-plan, but yeah. But honestly, I do like playing as Evolved though. I like playing as like a fast Titan. That's kind of like why I like playing as Shimo in this game, because Shimo's like actually fast. No! Oh my god, I'm gonna die. Oh, I'm gonna die. 13 HP home. Why can't I beam? Oh, let's go. Wait. No, I can't use my attacks. Yeah, can someone kill me? Can someone please kill me? I can't use my attacks. Anyways, let me read the chat, guys. Goji guy already showed the evidence. He didn't show anything, really. Actually. Arctic, I know. Don't worry. I know your comments from my short recently. Oh, wait, the people that are sitting next to me, please kill me. So Arctic, when basically the entire proof in the video was obviously the statements in the novelization of brighter and stronger than ever before. When the statements contradict the film, when the statements literally just are not backed up by the film, it's just like, what are we doing? You know, because it's like, again, if you want it to be like, oh, okay, no, all statements count, then Ghidorah had the power of 100 storms, and in order for Godzilla to have enough energy and power to one-shot Ghidorah, that statement right there just makes Thermo 1,000 times stronger than his base. So even if you want to take the 20 times statement completely literally, evolved is nowhere near Thermo. So, I mean, again, if you want to go statement for statement, Thermo has statements that get him to like 1,000 times whatever. So Kong was meant to kill Skarking, so Skarking you see, and now Arctic, there's my point. When it comes to these, you can't use the excuse as plot armor. You can, if you use the excuse as plot armor, that's admitting that you're like, that's defeat right there. Saying plot armor, trying to use the excuse of plot armor in something like a little debate like this is just no. Like you can't do that, gang. Because then it could be like, oh, you know, Ghidorah only got one shot by Godzilla because of plot armor. Because, you know, they needed to make Godzilla's burning form super, super powerful. And that's kind of what they did. Or you could also be like, oh, you know, Kong only beat Godzilla in round 2 because of plot armor. Kong didn't die in the Tasman Sea because of plot armor. You know, it's like, then if you want to use the plot armor argument, then it's like, it ruins everything. And this Baragon's gonna like charge towards me. Okay. Dude, I don't know how to use evolved, please. I use Shimo mostly in this game. Monster X is the best Godzilla villain in the entire franchise, second only to Destroya. That's a take right there. That's a take. I mean, I don't know about best. I feel like Kaiser Ghidorah just outdid Monster X, but yeah. How tall is Godzilla in the modern day series of Monarch Legacy Monsters? So, considering this takes place in 2017, and we may actually see a time skip to 2019, he's around 393 feet tall. He's literally, Godzilla only changed his height from G14 to King of the Monsters, and never did for the rest of the Monsterverse. So, that thumbnail is genius. Yeah, shout out my boy Kevin, bro. Kevin the Fish. He used to make YouTube videos. Dude, he makes really good thumbnails. I'm like, hey, bro, just put Mr. Beast on the thumbnail, bro. Just put Mr. Beast on the thumbnail for all I care. I'm genuinely so buns as evolved in this game that, like, I don't really know what I'm doing. I like playing Shimo, though, because Shimo sidestepping is pretty good. And, like, that lunge that Baragon does, I mean, man, I have no idea. Can he block the second attack? I have no idea. Whatever, I'm just going to beam again. I see a bunch of people joining from the live stream into the Roblox game. So yeah, guys, just for context, my profile is the pinned message at the top of the YouTube chat. So if you guys want to go ahead and join the server, feel free. Join should be on for everyone, I believe. Dude, I was like, I hadn't played Roblox in so long, I had no idea how to like turn it on. So I hope they're on. That should kill him. There we go. Perfect. His cave concept was cool. Yeah, no, Kevin's awesome. Kevin's awesome. Bro, Kaiser Ghidorah looks like a steroid Ghidorah. Yeah, real. What's the most insane case or cases of plot armor I've seen throughout media? That's kind of tricky, bro, because like when you put me on, when it's like put on the spot, then it's like, oh, I got to do a lot of thinking and trying to find an answer fast. A good example of plot armor, honestly, dude, I genuinely have no idea, bro. Like, because here's the thing, because I'm streaming like Godzilla right now, it's like I'm only thinking of instances of plot armor in Godzilla. Now, a really good instance of plot armor was Kong in the Tasman Sea fight when Godzilla dragged him down to the bottom of the trench, and somehow the depth charges disorient him to the point where he releases Kong. Yeah, I think that was a load of BS in my opinion, but you know. Perfect. So I don't really understand, like, for evolved Godzilla, it's kind of easy to get his ult with attacking people, but then with Shimo, it's like I only have to roar to get my ult. I don't know. For someone who plays Age of Titans more than me, please explain. Oh, yes, I got my ult. Hold on, guys. I'm going to go use the second strongest attack in all of the Monsterverse. Wow. 1v1 you? I got you, bro. Nuke Amp is low-key beating base evolved Godzilla? I don't know if I would go to that level. But then it's like, okay, I don't really know how to explain it, because it's like, yeah, base evolved lost to Kong. And am I going to sit here and say Nuke Amp is losing to Kong? Hell no. So it's like, it's kind of like a rock, paper, scissors thing. It kind of goes in a circle. I think pure radiation wise and power level, yeah, Nuke Amp, in my opinion, is stronger than base evolved. His energy capacity thing does not mean he's shooting 20 times more powerful like radiation. It means he can shoot it for 20 times longer. And obviously, yeah, his evolution is going to power him up, but it's not going to make him 20 times more powerful. That's what a lot of people like to, call or whatever by using that image right there. I would say Nuke. Oh, you know what? I would say Nuke Amp could very well beat base evolved, like the evolved we see in Egypt, because again, he had just used all of his radiation to evolve. So I mean, yeah, I mean, it's honestly not like a crazy take, bro. Now, a really crazy take that I've seen is some people will have like base evolved over Thermo. Like, okay, bro, at least, if you're going to side with evolved, at least go the supercharged route, but base evolved. Base evolved over Thermo. The one that got knocked out by Kong. God help me. Someone help me. What was it? I think Ryan popped into the stream earlier on. But him and Salt, I'm pretty sure you're in the stream, made a crazy take. So obviously, they're on the side of Supercharged Evolved over Thermo. And yeah, okay, they're the two sides to it. It's Thermo or Supercharged Evolved, right? And they said it would take 3 Thermos to beat Supercharged Evolved. That's blasphemy right there. Absolute blasphemy. On a side note, I have not played as G14 whatsoever in this game. No, that's crazy. Base Evolved Godzilla is obviously weaker than Thermo. Like, bro, come on now. I think that's common sense, bro. 3 Thermos. Yeah, bro, like, I mean, as if Supercharged Evolved is even surviving, bro. It's taking 50 Supercharged Evolved. Okay, that's a bit of a stretch. That's a bit of a stretch. I think, and dude, okay, am I just gonna have like this glitch? Oh yeah, I think Lemon, the owner of the game, he's one of my homies. He told me every now and then there's like a glitch where you just can't attack. So someone please, I'm trying to like jump right here, but yeah, someone please kill me. A recent post said Thermo only would just push him with the pulse. Yeah. A lot of people like to also say, oh, Supercharged Evolved so much more durable than Thermo. Actually, you know what? I'm about to pull this up, bro. Hold up. I'm gonna turn my Roblox volume down to 0. I actually don't care if I can't make ad revenue off this stream anymore. Let me see. 1 second, everyone. If we go to YouTube, and here I'm gonna play this for you guys so you guys can go ahead and see this. Give me a second. GXK final battle. This will prove my point right here. This will literally prove my point. Yeah, no, I'll go back to Age of Titans in a second. I want to show something real quick. So let me turn display capture on. I only have one monitor, guys. Sorry. So you're gonna have to look at that for a second. But all right. So we're gonna go to this one specific scene right here. We're gonna go to when Supercharged Evolved barrels through Shimo. Where is it? Yeah, right here. That's really loud. I'm so sorry for the people watching. But, alright, we're going to put it in 0.25 speed. We're going to skip just a bit more. Alright, perfect. Guys, this right here. Alright, so before I play the clip, we're all very familiar with what happened in King of the Monsters with Thermonuclear Godzilla smiling at Ghidorah's gravity beams, right? No reaction, nothing, right? Let me see some yeses in the chat. Hopefully we all remember that, right? Yes, no, maybe, potentially. We all remember that. Is the stream lagging on my end? Okay. No, yes, 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 yes. Okay, perfect. Perfect. So now that we all remember, dude, this is why I wish I had a face cam. I wish I could like look at you guys while I'm talking because you guys are kind of staring at like a blank screen. So we all remember Thermo not making one peep, him just smiling at Ghidorah's gravity beams. Now we have Supercharge Evolved. I'm gonna go ahead and play the clip in 0.25 speed for you guys, and I want you guys to listen. Listen to the clip and let me know if you guys hear anything. So it's kind of near the end of the clip, and we're actually going to go ahead and rewind a couple of seconds into 0.75 speed. And again, listen, listen. So for those we're listening, Supercharged Evolved Godzilla let out a groan of pain from grappling with Shimo. He is in pain. This is causing him pain. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and look what Godzilla in his thermonuclear state does to a double amped Ghidorah gravity beams. Let's just go take a look. Let's go take a look, everyone. Hold on, just give me 1 second. All right, guys, we're at the clip. Are we ready? Are we ready, everyone? All right, let's go. The only sound that is being emitted is Godzilla charging his pulse. Ghidorah's full 3-headed gravity beams onto Godzilla. He's smiling. Look at him. You can see it. Hold on. I need to like take a screenshot of this. Hold on. You can see his smile. He's laughing. He's literally grinning. He's grinning at the double amped Ghidorah gravity beams. He's having the time of his life. Exactly, J-Rex. Exactly. No groan in pain. Nothing. The entire time, by the way. The entire time. The only groans in pain that we hear from Ghidorah getting decimated. So again, for at least the side of the fact when people argue Ghidorah, Supercharge Evolved is more durable. If he was more durable, durability is his tolerance to pain and his ability to take damage. If Supercharge Evolved truly was more durable, I would love for people who side with Evolved to explain this scene to me right here. Listen. Supercharged Evolved Godzilla lets out a groan in pain to grappling and wrestling with Shimo. But somehow, he's more durable than a Godzilla that was grinning at a double amped Ghidorah. Make that make sense. Why did he groan in pain? That's my question right there. That is my question right there, guys. That is my question right there, man. You know, look, Supercharged Evolved has anti-feats, bro. Oh, no, sorry. I'm not even done with this yet, guys. Hold on, let's go back to, YouTube. Let's go back to YouTube. Let's go back to that Rio fight. Supercharged Evolved Godzilla comes in with a staggering 3 anti-feats. Let's go over each individual one. 3 anti-feats, by the way. And when people are like, Evolved fans will like want to claim, oh, the statements, the brighter and stronger than ever before. Personally, I'm going to take what's on screen in front of me, and I'm not saying no, I will completely disregard statements, but when the statements don't line up, when they don't add up, and when they contradict each other, that's the problem. Supercharged Evolved is more stronger than Thermo. He is 20 times more powerful now than his original form, but yes, he still couldn't burn like... Okay, here, Robert Mullen, let me explain something to you real quick. Godzilla Evolved 20 times energy capacity does not correlate directly to 20 times power. It actually, and his durability, it actually scales quote-unquote sublinearly. Sublinearly means when one quantity increases, a related quantity, such as his power or durability, will increase, but not to that extent. That's exactly how it works. Also his energy capacity. Goji Center probably explains it a bit better than me, but it's not that he's shooting 20 times stronger radiation or 20 times more powerful energy. He's just able to fire it for a 20 times longer. He's able to hold this level of power 20 times longer. Because as we see in GVK, when Godzilla exhausts this amount of energy, his atomic breath turns into a flame. Godzilla's atomic breath will continue to be like a laser for a longer amount of time and be as powerful for a longer amount of time. But here, let's go through Supercharged Evolved's anti-feats, everyone. All right, so first off, we see Godzilla, supercharged one. Ryan, I'll call you in a sec, but let me explain this to the chat before you can have your question. All right, we see Godzilla, the most powerful form in the Monsterverse. Everyone, this is his most powerful form right here. Now we're gonna slowly go through this video. Here it is. Perfect. All right, I'm gonna freeze frame this for you. Oh, but that's 2 times speed. Sorry, I thought pressing spacebar would do it. Man, Scar King. Look at his back. It's covered in it. But apparently, he doesn't die from that because he got grazed. Okay. And then, all right, that's anti-feat number 1. That's plot armor. Okay, yep. At least you can call it plot armor. Let's go anti-feat number 2. Lets out a groan in pain with grappling. And then, hold on, where are we going again? Damn, I lucky forgot my other point. Oh, yeah. Alright, guys. Alright, guys, be ready? We ready? This is the same Godzilla, by the way. This is the same Godzilla that can supercharge at will. Guys, just give me 1 second, everyone. The same Godzilla that can supercharge at will gets beat, pummeled into the dirt by Kong. And then now, again, with all this in mind, Supercharge Evolved not being able to one-shot Scar King, Supercharge Evolved not denting Shimo, Supercharge Evolved groaning in pain from wrestling, and then we have not only, okay, guys, Supercharge Evolved couldn't dent Shimo. Let's watch when the pulse just grazes, just goes over Ghidorah, guys. Come on, this is very informative. Wow. Wow. And then, okay, so that's his power, right? That's his power. He's able to virtually one-tap, completely ignore Ghidorah's durability, completely one-tap, and then, okay, so that's his energy, that's his power, right? Now, let's go to his durability, everyone. Let's go to his durability. Wow. Wait, actually, you know what? This is funny. How long does Godzilla get hit by these double amped Ghidorah beams? So, it starts from 58. Let's say 58 and a half. So, for 7.5 seconds, Ghidorah's the most powerful version of Ghidorah's gravity beams all movie because he had just absorbed Godzilla's energy and absorbed the entire grid of Boston. 7.5 seconds doesn't have a single groan. Doesn't have a single groan from Godzilla. And he's just getting fried. He's just getting fried. Robert, the director, or one of the higher-ups, important people working the film, said Shimo and Monster Zero are equal. You didn't make an edit. You know what? Here, I would love to watch. Hey, if you guys have like edits or whatever, I'd actually love to watch them. You know, sit on stream, watch them, talk with people. This is why I love streaming. I can interact with everyone. You know, mess around, and you know, look, don't take this as me like, oh, debunking everything. I'm just giving my opinion. All right, I'm just giving my opinion on this matter. So yeah, I have Shimo way above base Ghidorah, but the difference in performance makes it hard to say can close the gap in power against burnings. Yeah, feats greater than statements. I agree. Look, here. When we go, let's see. Actually, I don't really know, like, what I can pull up there. But I'll just go back to, like, just talking while I'm playing Age of Titans, everyone. But, basically, oh, okay. I'll menu. When the statement of brighter and stronger than ever before, yeah, okay. Pink is a brighter color than orange. I think that's basic common sense. I mean, the reason Godzilla evolved is brighter is because what was it? Pink, it's brighter color than orange. Let's say that. All right. Number two, when the statement in the novelization cannot back up what's shown on the movie, that's I don't know what to tell you guys. Check DMs. Nuke Amp versus Beast Glove Kong. Yo, acid, bro. The thing you sent me, it looks like Godzilla's kissing Kong. It looks like he's kissing him. Easy Baragon upscale. Wow. It's because he absorbed T-Mat's DNA, I believe. Yeah, that's what gave him the pink coloration. He most likely would have remained blue. Who do you think wins, Monsterverse Godzilla versus Heisei Godzilla from your point of view? I'd probably say Monsterverse Godzilla. Yeah, all right, guys. Let's call Ryan. Am I still in the Age of Titans menu? I think I am. Yeah, I am. Okay, well, he's not picking up. Actually, so, you know what? You know what? We'll continue. We'll continue Age of Titans in a second. What I want to do is I want to go to my TikTok, right? Because, hey, guys, send me stuff on TikTok or whatever. Send me stuff on TikTok. Because, what? This guy just sent me something? I don't really know what that is, but... Dude, here, if we go on TikTok and we look up Thermonuclear Godzilla versus Supercharged Evolved or whatever... There are so many edits of this on TikTok, man. I mean, like, dude, it's ridiculous, bro. Hey, Shane Perry, appreciate it, bro. I'm glad you like the content, bro. I plan to keep it coming. Danco made this. Danco, man, like Danco. Who watches Danco? Danco's been wrong on so many different things, bro. Dude, it's this right here, bro. Hold on, can I like lower the volume on this? I don't know how to. How do I lower? Oh, yeah, here we go. Yeah. Yeah, here, look at this comment. People don't understand Pink is physically stronger, faster, and more agile. But Thermo is too much radiation durability, and that seemed to be affected by Pink. Again, guys, this when you put it category by category here, let's go. Let's go to my docs. Let's make a blank one. Let's go categories. Right? We'll split this into categories. Thermonuclear Godzilla. And we'll go Supercharged Evolved Godzilla. So when it comes to physical strength, yeah, sure. Supercharged Godzilla is going to take strength. Physical strength, lifting strength, striking strength, whatever. Physical strength. Guys, sorry, I can't spell. / lifting strength. / striking strength. He evolved to like become a better fighter. I'll give him that, okay? Durability, that's not even close. That goes to Thermo. You go speed. So travel and combat. You go agility. That also goes to supercharge. You go. Let's just. What else? You go battle IQ. I would say it's a tie. Battle IQ. So I'm not gonna put anything down. I'm gonna go battle IQ both of them because look, what Supercharged Evolved has had a couple more fights on his belt. Godzilla's been around for a couple 100 million years. A couple more fights in the span of a couple years is not gonna give him that much of an edge in battle IQ. So battle IQ, same thing. But again, when it comes to the overall power and like energy released, you guys trashing me right now? Dude, look, again, the amount of the cope behind Supercharged Evolved's argument is ridiculous. The cope behind it is crazy. Because okay, so I'm stuck in the water. I'm gonna join a new server, everyone. But what is it? Do I still have display capture on? No, I don't. What's the discussion? What do you think, man? You tuned into the FTA stream, man. We're talking about Supercharged Evolved versus Thermonuclear Godzilla. But again, look, the argument for Supercharged Evolved is full of just like cope, gang. It's full of cope. Supercharged Evolved shows nothing. He literally doesn't do anything. He gets knocked out, and again, it's not even Supercharged Evolved, it's just Evolved. Evolved can supercharge whenever he wants. Evolved got knocked out by Kong. He couldn't one-shot Scar King with the most powerful attack in the Monsterverse. He failed to damage Shimo with his Spiral Ray. He groaned in pain from grappling. But then Thermo doesn't groan in pain from an amped Ghidorah gravity beams. He tanks that. He smiles at it. He virtually one-shots Ghidorah. It's like, I mean, yeah, Evolved is faster, stronger, more agile. But on the other hand, Thermo is just so much more powerful and durable where it's just, nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to happen at all. The only thing that gets him above Thermo is the toy box statement, which isn't even valid because the toys were... I'd say Supercharged Evolved Godzilla is as durable. I mean, dude, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Look, I just showed you that he's not. This is honestly too loud for me. But look, I think there are plenty of points that I have proven for Thermonuclear Godzilla, and it's just cope. At the end of the day, bro, it's like, oh yeah, bro, you know, this statement in the novel, this statement in the toy commercial. It's like, okay, when the statements don't back up what's shown in the movie, not to mention, look, the same guy who wrote the novelization, Greg Keyes, he himself says, when asked about it, in his opinion, and his opinion is actually something that should be taken into account because he wrote the novelization, he believes that Evolved is more controlled, and he does not think it's more powerful. He's literally said, I don't know. He said, in regards to the power, he does, I don't know, but he knows Evolved is more controlled. Now, I actually have something that I found, which is a legit source as well. Someone who worked... Okay, so a lot of people will be like, oh, Jared Kravchevsky, who is the designer for Shimo. He designed Shimo. He also designed Mecha Godzilla in the Monsterverse. He will go ahead and say... He said that Shimo and Ghidorah are relative. And then whenever someone's like, oh, wow. I don't know what just happened. Whenever someone... Whoa! Did the game just update? Or, oh, I guess it just refreshed. When people will ignore it and be like, oh, he's a designer. His comments don't matter. They don't care. But then when someone, I'm not going to say this because I'm going to put it in my video. I'm going to gatekeep this. When someone who's worked on the screenplay and the writing of the film outright says in his opinion, which his opinion should matter, that Thermo is stronger, then it's like, oh, we can't use that. We can only use certain things because they line up with my argument. You see, like, that's the problem, man. That's the problem. And look, I'm not going to say this is a one-sided problem. Both Thermo and Supercharged Evolved fans will pick and choose what they want to use. But the problem is, dude, it's like, bro, when I look at this argument, when I look at this debate, I'm like, okay, here are the things for Thermo. Here are the statements for Thermo. Here are the things for Supercharged Evolved. Here are the statements for Supercharged Evolved. And it's like, what? It doesn't make any sense to me when it's like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Apparently, Shimo got buffed in the game. Crash out? I wouldn't say it's a crash out. It's more of just like, I don't understand, bro. I don't understand. Like, look, I would love to be proven wrong. I would love to. But, you know, man, it's just like, come on. Thermo melting buildings of Evo got frozen. Okay, I wouldn't say... Okay, so what is it? Thermo being able to melt buildings, just looking at that doesn't mean he's stronger than Supercharged Evolved. There's a lot that goes into it. Shimo versus Thermo. Again, there are a lot of things that point to Shimo and Ghidorah being like somewhat of a fair fight. Now, personally, look, I'll admit, I side with Shimo. I think Shimo would beat Ghidorah in a fight. Unless Ghidorah can amp himself like he did in Boston with the power grid, then I would think Ghidorah would win. But 6, nah. Yeah, 6 or 7. Oh my god. Guys, I'm not saying it like, I'm saying it unironically. 6 or 7 out of 10 times, Shimo would most likely beat Ghidorah. Join Goji Guy's stream. He's trying to prove me wrong right now. And dude, again, bro, he's just being petty because I'm streaming with 40 people showing stuff how Thermo wins. He's streaming trying to prove it wrong immediately. I remember, look, I was talking to him. Look, he's my best friend, one of my best friends, and I'm not gonna let this, you know, ruin our friendship or whatever. But when it's like, we're like, oh yeah, no, I left that all behind, man. I made a video on it a long time ago. So then when I go ahead and go talk about it, and then he instantly starts streaming and like, oh, this is why it's wrong. This is why it's wrong. You know, it's like, yeah, he's being petty. He's being absolutely petty. Debate Godzilla guy. Dude, again, look, there is no debate that's needed, bro. I proved my points. I showed every single one of my points. And that's literally irrefutable proof. Thermo Godzilla, no cells Ghidorah's amp gravity beams. He 2-taps him. Evolved Godzilla gets knocked out by Kong. Can't dent Shimo. What else? Groans in pain when grappling. And can't one-shot Scar King. I don't know what you say to that. Unless you want to call... The only way you can go behind that is plot armor. And yeah, that's true. But you can't use that in the context of this scenario. You can't. I haven't been in FDA live since old KU back. Hey, Gojira 09G, welcome to the stream, bro. You know, I know, hey, it's been a long time, man. It's been a long time, but you know, I'm back. I'm back. So, I'm kind of really just like playing AOT, talking about the Monsterverse, man. So, yeah. That's kind of just what I'm doing here. And there's like a Dagon trying to attack me, but... Does Shimo win against Thermo? So basically, what I believe, a lot of things in the novelization put Shimo and Ghidorah in the same category as like a world-ending titan. The person who designed Shimo, whether people want to take that important or not, or like, oh, it doesn't matter, literally said the fight could go either way. And I just think Shimo and Ghidorah are relative, but I think Shimo would win more times than not. So when you look at Supercharged Evolved's fight against Shimo and Thermo's fight against Monster Zero, on one hand, Supercharged Evolved struggles against Shimo. On the other hand, Thermo completely destroys Ghidorah in seconds. So yeah, I think I would have Thermo over Shimo by whatever he wants. And again, bro, when it's like, when Supercharged Evolved solely relies on statements that contradict the film, and Thermo, the proof is just right in front of you. I think the answer is pretty clear. How was my trip to the Jurassic World theme park? It wasn't Jurassic World theme park. It was Universal in Florida, and it was fun, dude. It was fun. I went with my girlfriend. We had a load of fun. That it was a blast, man. We went on the Velocicoaster, Hogwarts, and whatever. But the thing that disappointed me was the fact that the Jurassic World ride was closed. But it's whatever. When am I play KU again? Never. I'm never playing that game again. I'm a power scaler, but I love your videos and agree with them a lot because you always make a ton of sense in a non-power scaling context. I appreciate it, man. You know, look, I'll admit, the traditional power scaling method, right? You know, you go like statement for statement. Yeah, and if you want to purely look at statements, Supercharged Evolved has more statements for them. In my opinion, when those statements contradict the film and don't line up, it doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. And also, if you want to go like the power scaling route with like how it goes or whatever, like people who like do like that Goku stuff or whatever, man. Heisei Godzilla is somehow, I think, like outer versal or whatever. And Goji Chronic knows a lot more about that stuff. So you guys want like a truly like authentic power scaling, go look at Goji Chronic stuff. Shimo is the strongest Titan in the whole Godzilla franchise. W or L take? L take in my opinion. I think Destroya. Besides Godzilla, if you don't include Godzilla, I got Destroya. Do I think Goji Chronic is wrong about Indom versus Giga? If he says Giga, personally, I think Indom. I think Indom over Giga. But if he says Giga, I'm not gonna say he's wrong. It's his opinion. Even when you know when Ryan or Goji guy. Or other people say Supercharged evolved over Thermo. I'm not gonna say they're wrong. That's their opinion, and look, that's their opinion. At the end of the day, I'm not gonna go ahead and be like, oh, you're wrong. There's a definitive answer. You know, it's a really how a lot of people want to interpret those statements and whatever, and how they want to relate it to the films. Personally, I think Thermo's stronger, and that's my opinion on it. And I have stuff that backs it up, and Personally, I think the argument for Supercharged Evolved doesn't make any sense, but that's their opinion. So, yeah, when it comes to Indom versus Giga, if his opinion is Giga over Indom, then yeah, that's fair. That's his opinion, but personally, I side with Indom. What's the T-Rex 37 feet in Jurassic Park as well as the Buck and Doe and Lost World? The T-Rex is 37 feet long. I believe that would be the bull T-Rex in JP3, no? The one Scar King fan wants you to play the fraud. I got you, bro. Let me use my ult real quick. 3,000 damage. Oh my god. You personally see adolescent Indom? Adolescent like the one we see in Jurassic World? Or like adolescent like a teenager? To be fair, Indom's not fully grown. But I think Indom from like the one we see in the Jurassic World film beats the Giga in my opinion. Because the whole thing about the argument between Indom and Giga, so there's an argument for it, and it's like, oh, the Giga fought a healthier, more powerful version of Rexy, when that's not true. I can get into why. If someone disagrees with me on that, then I'll get into why. But personally, Indom fought a arguably healthier and more powerful version of Rexy, and submitted her in roughly 30 seconds. But yeah, hey Jinx, I got you, bro. Let me play a Scar King. Goji Center said that the T-Rex in the first Jurassic Park was 37 feet long and her smallest, and said the Buck and Doe were at least the same size as her. I see. Make me a stream. Yeah, I got you, Jinx. Dude, Jinx, you're an admin in my Discord server, but you're not a moderator. My bad. I got you, bro. FD Real Talk, Thermo and Evolved duo teamers against Uncle Grandpa. Who's Uncle Grandpa? I don't know what that is. But again, bro, look. This is the last I'm going to touch on this for the rest of the stream. Look, usually the loudest person in the room is the person that's wrong. And when I'm streaming to like 50 people on why I believe Thermo's stronger than Evolved, and out of spite, to be petty, Ryan literally told me he was like editing a video and he's going to work on a short. He goes out of his way to go live and tell people why Supercharged is superior. That's really petty. That's really petty in my opinion. And yeah, it just goes to show, man. The loudest person in the room is always usually more often than not the person that's wrong. But you know what, man? Look, I'm not gonna take anyone's opinion away from them. They got it. So hold on, did Scar King get its attacks added? Is that what the update was? So obviously he has his like backflip. and his like whip or whatever. But Jinx, there's no need to debate it, bro. I made all my points. And 4 is like yeah, he like points with his crystal. No, just a rebalance for Shimo. Oh, damn, he still doesn't have a 5th attack. That's unfortunate. Thermo is literally the max tier upgrade he could possibly have received. His natural evolution still wouldn't achieve that strength. I mean, yeah, again, the thermonuclear Godzilla was like a form that he literally physically could not achieve on his own. And his evolution is obviously going to be much more tame than that. I think that's kind of common sense. But yeah. Indom was almost full grown as is. She would have already gotten bigger. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, well, the Indom was how large in Jurassic World? 41 feet, I believe. I believe the Indom was 41 feet in Jurassic World. Or was he a bit larger? Who shaved Shimo? That's actually that's a skin in the game. Yeah, that's a skin in the game for Shimo. Dude, I'm getting folded, bro. Scar King's not good, Jinx. Scar King's not good. Oh my god, the pointing with the crystal attack does nothing. Indominus wins? I agree. I would probably want to make an updated video on Indom versus Giga. Maybe later down the road because, hey, technically speaking, Indom versus Giga is kind of one of my more recent videos on the channel. So, yeah. Even the non-inconsistent size D-Rex would beat her. Those arms are clearly powerful. He has the ability to pick up and throw an airborne helicopter. Yeah, I mean, look. As someone who has Indom as the largest, as the strongest, largest, large theropod in the Jurassic franchise, I don't think we'd count D-Rex as a theropod because it's quadruped. But, the D-Rex just has, like, what is it? The D-Rex can just change its size whenever it wants to. It can become Kaiju size. And obviously, you know, we can't just ignore, like, the feats it does when it's that size and being able to throw a helicopter and fit it in its mouth. I mean, yeah, the D-Rex is beating the Indom by whatever it wants, you know. Now, the question is, could the D-Rex defeat the big four of the Indom, Rexy, Giga, and Spino? I don't think so. I think the big four got it. D-Rex is a descent of a theropod, but it wouldn't be classified as one. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, you know. Yeah, it was a failed attempt at cloning the T-Rex, but, you know, it wouldn't be classified as a theropod since it's, you know, quadrupedal. I'll admit, though, I really like the third attack for Scar King, where he just, like, you know, uses his whip. I think it's pretty cool. Oh, I can't block that. In a 1v4, definitely not. Yeah, especially with how, like, the D-Rex has showed, like, it's definitely below the the standard for IQ of the Therapods of the Jurassic franchise. The D-Rex is arguably, like, really dumb. The D-Rex is just dumb. But, you know, the fact that the D-Rex is really slow and everything, you know, that's why I would, you know, honestly, I don't even think you need 4. I think you need 3. I think you could do Indom, Giga, Spino, and it would take down the D-Rex. FDA versus an army of Dagon and Kong and Gigan. Yeah. Yeah, I'm really just playing as Scar King. Honestly, dude, I can't wait for the AOT revamp. For those, you know, who aren't very familiar with the Roblox Kaiju games and are here just because, you know, I make Godzilla content, Roblox has some solid Kaiju games here and there, and it's actually fun to play every now and then. But this game is actually getting a revamp, and it's going to make it a lot better, and I am really excited to stream that game. So, in revamp we trust, honestly. Hey, Jinx, that's your only hope for Scar King being any better than he is right now, bro. Scar King's kind of a fraud right now. Oh yeah, let me get that whip action. I don't think it's a block break, Jinx. Is he not? I think the one scenario in which the Indominus Rex could solo the D-Rex would be a planned ambush. Indominus is very intelligent. No, it's like genuinely. I really think the Indom could stand a chance against the D-Rex, but it would have to catch it off guard. If the D-Rex is aware of the Indom's presence, if this is like an open field where the Indom can't utilize her like camouflage or whatever, yeah, then obviously oh, maybe it is a block break. I don't know. But yeah, I would have the D-Rex by a mile. But I could very well see a scenario where the Indom wins. Oh, I just used my, like, ult to heal myself. I thought I was actually about to do something, like, cool or whatever. But, damn. Oh shit, that's a block right. I didn't even know. D-Rex versus Indominus Rex and Ember. The only thing going for Ember is that it was just stated to be like stronger than Rexy, considering it's like, you know, on an island all by its own and everything. So apparently Ember, purely by statements, is the strongest Rex in the verse. But honestly, I don't think 2 Therapods would be enough to take the D-Rex down. I think you need 3. So Indom and Ember, I'm taking D-Rex over them. Again, and this is like with the D-Rex aware that they're there now. You know, Indom gets a little ambush on them. I'm taking, you know, Indom, but yeah. Jinx, join me. Ted is being a bat. Wow. Can the Godzilla survive Peter Jackson's Skull Island this time? Can it be in 2 parts if you add in his regeneration or removing his regeneration? Interesting. So I feel like in order for it to actually be fair, right, for the Godzilla you gotta like, okay, you gotta take away the Godzilla ability to regenerate, because what, he was able to regenerate completely from nuclear bomb, and I mean the novelization of -1 even says that it was gonna like, it was tearing him apart, but even then, the nuclear bomb like lasts for what, microseconds. I mean, 1/10 of a second, the explosion. That's how fast and powerful nuclear bombs are. So it's like for him to be able to outpace it and even survive that. Nothing on Peter Jackson's Skull Island has anything that could kill the Godzilla outright. So obviously you have to take away their generation. And I think the Godzilla would easily beat Kong. I think the Godzilla would mop the floor with the 3 Vistatosaurus Rexes. The Brontosauruses, I think that'd be a really good food source for the Godzilla if it needs that. That's kind of vague. I forgot what like that. It's like a bootleg version of Styracosaurus, but it's just much larger. I think it's like a fern. It starts with an F, I believe, but yeah. No, I think the Godzilla from -1 at least, not the Heisei version, from -1 would have no problem doing really well on Peter Jackson's Skull Island. JP3 Spino versus the Giga. I got Giga. Over the JP3 Spino. I do. Don't get me wrong. I love the Spino. I'll admit, I used to not like the Spino. Spino's becoming one of my more like favorited dinosaurs in the franchise. And I don't know, man. I definitely think I'd have Giga over Spino. Now, the thing that I love about like people when they're like, oh, Spino versus Rex, it's like, I think FDA is a Godzilla fan. Oh, maybe, dude, maybe. But what about a trio of Vistatosaurus Rexes versus the D-Rex? Yeah, no, I think the versus the D-Rex. So the funny thing about it is, you know, the normal Therapods in Jurassic Park are like what, 9 tons, 10 tons. I think the Giga gets upwards of 10 tons. The Rex is 9 tons. The Indom is like between 7.5 to 9 tons or whatever. So yeah, it's around that range, right? But the Vistatosaurus Rex is, bro, like I think if I remember correctly, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, is like 30 tons or whatever. And I think there's a stated weight for the D-Rex at like 15 tons, maybe 12 tons. So like pure weight alone, dude, I'm taking like 1 Vistatosaurus Rex realistically, bro. Like that thing will just ram into the D-Rex and send it flying. I mean, that's basically like comparing someone who weighs 60 pounds to someone who weighs 2/5. That'd be 150 pounds. So it's like, yeah, someone who weighs 60 pounds versus someone who weighs 150 pounds, basically. Vistatos are 10 to 15 tons, supposedly. Really? I swear I heard someone that were like 30 tons or upwards of 50, because I feel like Kong got somewhere to like 30 tons, maybe. However, Toya, if that's the case where they're actually 10 to 15 tons, then yeah, I'm going D-Rex. Super Mecha Godzilla versus Final Wars, who wins? Oh my god, it's Lemon. Guys, for those who don't know, Lemon's the owner of Age of Titans, and he believes in Final Wars Godzilla supremacy. He takes that one statement of Final Wars Godzilla and completely takes off with it. He'll take off with it to the moon and back. Because the statement of Final Wars Godzilla being superior to all previous versions of Godzilla. So that would put him above Burning Godzilla in 1995, Heisei Godzilla in 94, Heisei Godzilla the Spiral Ray in 93. It would put him above the peak Showa Godzilla at the very end of the Showa era. But Super Mecha Godzilla versus Final Wars Godzilla, basically that's asking me Final Wars Godzilla or Heisei Godzilla from 1993, considering Super Mecha Godzilla was able to beat Heisei Godzilla and kill him. I don't know. So if here's like a scenario I would have. If Super Mecha Godzilla can stay at range and play the range battle with Final Wars Godzilla, I got Super Mecha Godzilla. However, the most likely case is Final Wars Godzilla actually winning because he would speed blitz Super Mecha Godzilla and end up just beating him to death, basically ripping him apart. So you know what, Lemon? You're welcome. I think ever so slightly, I think Final Wars Godzilla would beat Super Mecha Godzilla. I think so. However, again, like I said, if Super Mecha Godzilla can play the range game like he did with Heisei Godzilla and use the Mega Buster, the Plasma Grenade, the Shock Anchors, and constantly stun and shock Final Wars Godzilla and hold him in place, I think Super Mecha Godzilla. But if Final Wars Godzilla can blitz Super Mecha and not let him get those range attacks off, I'm going Final Wars Godzilla. Can you please answer me? Can G14 really swim in lava? Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. In Godzilla, what is it? In Godzilla, not Aftershock. What is it called again? Oh yeah, Godzilla Awakening. When Godzilla hits by the Permian asteroid, is that panel him swimming in water or swimming in lava? Either way, Godzilla's plenty durable to swim in lava. I mean, the proton scream is hotter than lava, and he was able to withstand that with relative ease. Not relative ease. I mean, he was groaning in pain. His entire body like lit up and whatever. It was in water. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Mayo. But yeah, I think it's common sense that G14 would be able to swim in lava. I think that's pretty. That's pretty common sense. Super Mecha Godzilla has no reason to be a kaiju. Doesn't do anything in terms of melee, so might as well just be a regular military weapon without wasting the millions of tons of metal. Nah, seriously, you could have just like transported the Mega Buster, the Plasma Grenade, the Shock Anchors, the Garuda alone, you know, just like transport all of that into military weapons to fire onto Godzilla and kill Godzilla. You don't even need like the whole piloting Mecha Godzilla, the whatever, or having Mecha Godzilla's doppelganger. You don't need that. You really don't need that. Debate Ted Heisei versus Final Wars, bro. I'm not debating anyone, bro. Come on, look. Personally, I think, you know, doing that, it's kind of just like a waste of time, giving them attention or whatever, you know. It's like, look, in my opinion, if I believe something, I'm gonna go make a video on it. If someone else believes something different, they can go make a video on the topic of their own interpretation, of their own opinion. So yeah, you know, the people can go do that. I'm not gonna like debate someone on stream, bro. It'll be worth my time and Lemon. How strong do you think Monster X would be? So Monster X was able to, you know, box with Final Wars, but Final Wars was taking the edge there. I remember there's that one clip of Monster X. Final Wars guys are just pummeling him, like on top of Monster X, just pummeling his face in. And Monster X has to change into Kaiser Ghidorah to actually beat Final Wars Godzilla. So Monster X would probably be roughly just below Final Wars Godzilla in terms of power, if you wanted like a just basic answer. Now, like, if you're asking, like, oh, could he run the Heisei Gauntlet, or could he run the Monsterverse Gauntlet? And also, what I mean by that is, like, you take Monster X and you put him against the Kaijus in one-on-ones. Legendary YouTuber Max Shieldman. Hey, Max Shieldman, welcome to the stream, bro. I think I saw your message up there. Yeah, 3 dots or whatever. But yeah, appreciate you for tuning into the stream, gang. How strong would Supercharged Evolved Godzilla can beat Burning Heisei Godzilla? Oh, are you asking Supercharged Evolved Godzilla versus Burning Heisei Godzilla? No. Personally, I believe Thermo Godzilla over Supercharged Evolved, and I have Heisei Burning over Thermo. I think the power level between Heisei Burning, between anything in the Monsterverse, is still a large gap. I think Destroya would beat Supercharged Evolved. I think Destroya would also beat Thermo. So, yeah. I think Destroya and Burning Godzilla in the Heisei era are in tiers of their own in terms of power. Oh, no, wait. No! I was going to try and use my whip attack. Dude, honestly, bro, I'm literally talking more about Godzilla than I am playing the game, bro. Like when the revamp comes out and like I actually have to like grind the game and like play it for y'all. Um, I don't know how I'm supposed to do that, bro. Like I'm literally just talking more about Godzilla than actually playing the game. Destroya is not beating Thermo. You could argue that. You could argue that. Because I mean, well, the thing about Destroya is that his variable slicer basically like negates durability. Like it completely went through burning Heisei Godzilla, who burning Heisei is one of the most durable kaiju in the Godzilla franchise. I mean, Heisei Godzilla is able to withstand his own atomic breath times 10,000, and burning obviously, quote unquote upscales that, So if the variable slicer can do that, then I don't really care how durable Thermo is. Destroy's variable slicer is okay. Let me rephrase myself. I think Destroyer can beat Thermo and Supercharged Evolved only because his win condition is the variable slicer. It goes right through it. If he can outlast Thermo, sure, but beating him in that state is a no. I agree. I think Thermo would probably have the edge over Destroyer when in his form, but if he runs out of obviously Thermo's endurance and stamina isn't very good. Once he uses 3 pulses, the form is over. Goji guy's gonna jump me. Ryan's even admitted I'll kick his ass in a real fight, like in real life. I mean, I lift. I used to play football. I'll admit, guys, I've gotten into fights before, like at parties or whatever. But nah, Ryan's my homie. He's one of my best friends. We plan on living together next year, later this year though, and even though we disagree on Thermo versus Evolved, I'm not going to let that, get in the way of whatever. What do you think of the new Kaiju Monarch Legacy of Monsters? Titan X, I think it's really cool. I think the description for it is like, it's unmatched. Like, its power is unmatched. That's literally the quote of it. And it's like, it's apparently going to be larger than Godzilla and Kong. So it's like, I don't really know where it's going to be. Do I think it's going to be an alpha threat? Maybe. I remember Ryan and I were talking about this. If you want like a more in-depth thought on like my thoughts of Monarch Legacy of Monsters and everything, check out Kaiju Cowboys. That's a joint channel with me and Ryan where we just give our thoughts on everything. FDA scales above the Godzilla franchise. Appreciate you, bro. Yeah, because at the end of the day, who's real and who isn't? I know it's going to be another Scar King. You think so? You think it's going to be hyped up as like this big bad just to get completely like clowned? I mean, dude, that's the thing I hated about Scar King, bro. I remember, bro, before, like, all the, like, when the movie came out, all the plot leaks of GXK is like, oh, Scar King's gonna be even larger than Godzilla, bro. He's gonna, like, choke hold. He's gonna, like, grab him by the neck with his hand. Scar King's gonna be this threat that Godzilla and Kong need to work together. And then the movie comes around, and Scar King is an absolute fraud. He beats up Kong in the Hollow Earth and then just gets put on his ass by Kong. He relies on Shimo in the Hollow Earth anti-gravity fight. He's kind of, going here and there with Kong. In the Rio fight, he's just running away from Godzilla. And obviously he gets frozen by Shimo. And yeah, he doesn't really do much, man. He has like 6.5 minutes of screen time. Joined the AOT VC. Am I going to regret this? Like, is there going to be like something? Okay, look. I will join it, but you guys need to promise like not to do anything like dumb. They would not do Space dirty. I hope they don't. I hope they don't. Space Godzilla, I think they need to do it justice, man. For having Space Godzilla, they got some big shoes to fill. Wow, They got some big shoes to fill. Sorry. The next movie is going to say Super Duper Goji or something. Hey, bro, you never know, man. You never know. I haven't looked at... I think my mistake with Godzilla X Kong was looking at all the plot leaks and everything, right? It's like I knew a lot of stuff about the movie before watching it. This is why with Supernova, I'm going in completely blind. No plot leaks. I'm going to try and keep the trailers to a limited. Obviously, I'm going to have to make content by watching the TV spots and everything. But, they kept the marketing for GXK pretty solid under wraps. Like 1 or 2 trailers here and there. But then the TV spots came around and just absolutely just leaked everything in the movie. But yeah, let me see what this VC has in store. There's gonna be 1 second. Let me try and find out. Here it is. All right, all right. I'm gonna extend my hand like I'm Caesar in King of the in Planet of the Apes, looking when the other apes are looking for approval. I'm gonna hopefully pray that nothing bad happens in this VC. All right, let's join. Yo.
Yo.
All right,
Oh my
everyone.
god.
All right, let's try and keep. Hopefully, nothing bad happens in this VC. Yeah, keep it PG, everyone. So yeah, why am I supposed to be joining this VC?
Okay.
Ted.
So I want you to explain the one way, because I can't explain as well as you.
Yeah.
But the way Super Mecha could beat Final Wars, because I can't explain as well.
Okay. So Super Mecha Godzilla. Personally, when it comes to this whole like conversation and debate, basically it's really asking, could Heisei Godzilla beat Final Wars Godzilla? And I have Heisei Godzilla over Final Wars Godzilla. Now, Super Mecha Godzilla was able to beat Heisei Godzilla and kill him outright. Literally, shocking his brain to death, and obviously he has to get revived by Rodan. So the problem with Super Mecha Godzilla is whenever Heisei Godzilla, even Heisei Godzilla, who can't really do that well up close, was able to, put some work into Super Mecha Godzilla. So basically, the whole debate comes down to if Final Wars Godzilla can speed blitz Mecha Godzilla and not allow him to get off those range attacks, Final Wars Godzilla could win and beat Super Mecha Godzilla. But if Super Mecha Godzilla can stay at range, utilize the Mega Buster, the Plasma Grenade, the Shock Anchors, his missiles, I would have Super Mecha Godzilla above Final Wars Godzilla.
But can I just contradict to that, right?
Oh, okay. So is this the infamous Ted?
Yeah.
This is
Okay.
the
Okay. Yeah. Let's hear it.
I like to have conversations. No disrespect or anything like that.
Yeah. No, hey, that's exactly how I like it as well. Let's do that. Let's keep it at that.
So, could all these weapons amount to the destruction of the asteroid?
To the destruction of the asteroid. So
Look at the crater, and he was just standing there like, yeah, and what?
and again, what is it? They're a little quiet. Yeah, hold on. Let me raise y'all's volume. 1 second, real quick. So Ted, Lemon, and Jinx, I believe you were talking as well.
Because everyone else is not allowed to speak.
Okay. Perfect. So, do I think Super Mecha Godzilla's weapons could amount to the damage that the asteroid did? Correct me if I'm wrong. It's been a while since I've done this. Heisei Godzilla did tank an asteroid to the face. And against, what was it? Godzilla versus Mothra? Oh, sorry. Mothra and Godzilla battle for the Earth or whatever. That's, I believe, the movie title. So, Godzilla was able to tank this asteroid to the head without any damage, right? But Super Mecha Godzilla's weapons, his Mega Buster, his Plasma Grenade, his Shock Anchors, his missiles, were able to cause a painful reaction from Godzilla and eventually kill him, puncture his skin. So, purely because of that, and going off of the fact that Heisei Godzilla is more durable than Final Wars Godzilla, he has better durability feats. Yes, I would believe Super Mecha Godzilla's abilities such as, again, the Mega Buster, Plasma Grenade, Shock Anchors, would be able to do more damage than the asteroid, puncture Final Wars Godzilla's skin, and end up beating Final Wars Godzilla if this fight stays at range.
On that note as well, then, with the range. So, what material is he made out of? Because it's still metal. And
Super Mecha Godzilla has diamond coating.
yeah, okay, but is that gonna stop the beam from melting it? Because like,
Right.
a really super long beam and super hot.
Alrighty, 1 second. Des, thank you for stopping by the stream, man. Hope you have a good rest of your day. But, yeah, so, about that. Godzilla, in the Heisei era, in Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 2, 1993, Godzilla's normal atomic breath is fired at Super Mechagodzilla multiple times, and it's able to be, like, it doesn't do any visible damage. You can see in some of the clips, like, it's basically reflecting off of Super Mechagodzilla. And he's able to use that and power himself up to use the Plasma Grenade and reflect Godzilla's own atomic breath. I believe twice the time of the Garuda, and the Garuda was able to do it 10,000 times. So, Godzilla in the Heisei era, I personally believe that Heisei Godzilla's atomic breath is more powerful than Final Wars Godzilla's atomic breath. Now, knockback power, not exactly, because Final Wars' atomic breath was able to push what is it, the Exilian mothership like back, and that thing probably weighs like 1,000,000 tons or whatever. And obviously these atomic breaths from the Heisei era weren't able to do significant knockback damage, but I believe they have more power, destructive power behind them. So when you look at what is it, when do you think Final Wars Godzilla's atomic breath could melt Super Mecha Godzilla's diamond coating? I would also go with no, because a more powerful atomic breath with the Heisei era's atomic breath fired onto Mecha Godzilla. It didn't do any damage to his diamond coating. It took his spiral ray after absorbing Rodan's life force, which, you know, granted him the spiral ray, in order to actually melt Super Mecha Godzilla, as we see in the film. So,
I mean, a lot of it, we can argue, but it's just like literally the creators writing it. You know what I mean?
are you referring to the Final Wars Godzilla is stronger than all previous incarnations of Godzilla? Or am I missing something?
Just in general with everything. Like at the time of the writing, it's been designed to kill Godzilla, right?
Right.
So like, but this is a future Godzilla after that.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever he's done to that Godzilla shouldn't count to Final Wars, because Final Wars is stronger.
You can still relate it though, because again, these are different incarnations of Godzilla. These aren't in the same universe, right? And yes, I'll admit there is that one statement of Godzilla from Final Wars by the creators. I mean, sorry, by Toho. This is the most powerful version of Godzilla, and he surpasses all previous iterations of Godzilla. Because, you know, this was supposed to be the final Godzilla movie, supposed to be the most powerful form of Godzilla, but again, it's kind of like similar with a lot of these like statements scenarios. When the statements just don't really add up. I mean, it's like you're gonna take a look at Heisei Burning, for example. Heisei Burning, what he does, what statements he has, what he shows in the film, how he fights Destroyer, the living embodiment of the Oxygen Destroyer. But that statement is going to go ahead and completely override that. That, like, personally, that's not going to make any sense. And that's why when you look at statements, whether it's for Thermo versus Supercharged Evolved, for example, or Heisei versus Monsterverse, or even this, Final Wars versus Heisei, you need to take statements with a grain of salt, and you need to, like, correlate them back to what you're trying to argue and see if it genuinely makes sense and if it adds up on screen. Because if it doesn't, then I'm with the side that's going to take the stuff that's on screen compared to, you know, some BS statement Toho's going to make.
I'm 100% with you on that one. Yeah, because I said that to Lemon the other day. I says I don't believe in scripts and shit like that. I only believe in what I see on screen.
There's an extent to that. I mean, you know, obviously I'm going to take some stuff. For example, like, you know, I remember, what was it now? The only person that will not take, and Goji guy Ryan agrees with me, we both talk about this, when Adam Wingard makes a statement, even if Adam Wingard said Thermo was stronger than Evolved, I wouldn't use Adam Wingard's commentary as proof, because Adam Wingard tends to really like to contradict himself a lot. He likes to go back on his stuff. So, you know, again, it really comes from a place of bias from the people who are making the movie or people who are writing. You know, it's always from their own interpretation. That's why, again, like you said, Ted, I try to keep it to a minimum and usually base what I see on screen as proof in my arguments, but also take slightly from, like, you know, novelizations, interpret them to the film. Do they make sense? Do they add up? And, you know, I'll try and stay away from someone like Adam Wingfart's commentary. So, yeah.
I don't believe he's a fucking Godzilla fan. Oh, sorry. I don't believe he's a Godzilla fan anyway.
I mean, you know, he did say before making GVK, he's like, oh, he's a big Godzilla fan. He wants to make it how it is. And then, you know, Kong's putting in some work on him. Now, I'm not saying I don't think Kong could do damage to Godzilla, but it's like, you know, I don't know, man. The whole way, personally, my opinion on it, for those in the YouTube chat, let me know your guys' opinion on it. How Adam Wingard kind of handled post King of the Monsters, and how Michael Dougherty set up a lot of this mythology of the Monsterverse, try to have like a direction for it, and then it's like in GVK and GXK, it's like he kind of just ignores it completely. Like, all right, so this just didn't happen whatsoever. I mean, GVK, you know, at least it takes Ghidorah's death and uses it for Mecha Godzilla. But in GXK, it's like it kind of just ignores a lot of the world building and everything, and kind of just goes in a different direction. And I don't know. I don't think Adam Wingard, so to speak, ruined the Monsterverse. I think he kind of just lowered the bar, for example. You know, G14, King of the Monsters, cause Kong Skull Island, those 3 movies, fantastic. The lore building was great with the whole Hollow Earth thing.
Yep.
But you know, GVK
like
and GXK.
You know, like the old movies, they were serious and then they went jokey.
Right. And
They're going into that arc now, the jokey arc.
yeah, and that's the thing. That's kind of why it's like, you know, that's the thing though. I wanted the Monsterverse to be its own thing. I don't want the Monsterverse to take inspiration from the Showa era or the Heisei era or whatever, you know, and the Millennium era, and be like, okay, so we're gonna start off serious, like how in the Showa era, you know, start off in 1954, start off with raids again, and then in the Heisei era, it started off with the return of Godzilla. And then obviously versus Biollante started with the whole fighting kaijus and kind of turning a bit more like goofy. And obviously the Millennium era, it started with, you know, the Millennium era was kind of just, you know, not really exactly goofy is the word, but not serious, so to speak. But then with the Monsterverse, had a really good start with G14 and King of the Monsters, kind of being a more grounded film, but also trying to explore the mythology of these titans and the lore behind it. And then GVK and GXK come along and like, all right, we're just going to move past that. We don't care. I'm Adam Wingard. I'm going to go and make this however I want because it's what I like. I mean, dude, one like really big problem I had with Godzilla's evolution was like, Adam Wingard literally said he made Godzilla evolve so it could remind him of when he was a kid when the toy aisles in stores were lined with colors. So that's why he made Godzilla pink and purple and all these colors, and the Hollow Earth having green and blue and purple and everything, you know. So like, you know, that's personally one of my gripes with the newer direction of the Monsterverse, and I hope, you know, Supernova can do a lot better of a job. But yeah, that's kind of my opinion on it. But yeah, so obviously I joined the VC so we could, what were we debating again? Super Mecha Godzilla versus Final Wars again. So obviously with like the points made and everything, what do you think, Ted?
I'm still on the Final War side. Like, I just, from what I've seen on the screen, I just think he does him in strength. He does him in like energy power, unless it can be transferred back to him, like you said.
Yeah, the Mechagodzilla's plasma grenade, like where he absorbs, can be used to throw it back by twice the Garuda. So I think some like scales and power scaling ended up having it like Mechagodzilla was throwing Heisei Godzilla's beam back at him by 20,000 times. So yeah.
Another thing is as well though, his energy levels, like because Final Wars went around the world kicking everyone's ass.
Right. Yeah.
So he's got the speed and he's got energy to last.
No, yeah, no. Final Wars Godzilla definitely has a lot of stamina. But when your point of when he's going around the world kicking all these kaiju's ass, these other kaijus aren't really like that strong or that durable. I believe Ebra. What was it like? Some of these kaiju in the Final Wars movie. Did Ebra? It's been a minute since I've watched that movie, but correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't Ebra lose to like that like G team or whatever, like yeah. So I mean, like, and again, it's like Anguirus, Rodan. Realistically, the only really powerful kaiju besides Godzilla in that film is Monster X. Zilla obviously gets one tapped. Rodan gets tail whipped into mountain. Anguirus and Caesar get piled on top of Rodan. You know, it's like the monsters in Final Wars, while yes, Final Wars Godzilla runs through them as he should, Final Wars Godzilla is just so much more powerful than the other kaiju in the film, where it's like you can't really go and say, oh, Final Wars Godzilla was beating all of these really strong kaiju. It's more of, yeah, Final Wars Godzilla was kind of beating on these kaiju that he should have, you know. So, while, yes, I will 100% respect your opinion. I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
His intellect and his malice.
Right. Yeah, no, Final Wars Godzilla is definitely smarter than, you know, your average Godzilla. So yeah.
And he's a lot more vindictive in it as well.
Yeah, yeah. No, for sure. I mean, the way he handles Monster X, where he's like punching his face in, the way he deals with Zilla, I'm pretty sure, you know, that was obviously, you know, the director definitely threw that in there to poke fun at the American attempt on Godzilla.
You know, you might know this thing because I heard that they brought the rights for that.
Yes, yeah, you're exactly right. They did buy the rights from that Godzilla film, quote unquote, just to put him in Final Wars to kill him. So yeah, Final Wars is definitely one of my favorite Godzilla movies. I really like it. It's grown on me. A while ago, I actually used to dislike it. I personally, my biggest gripe with the film is the whole Matrix stuff and whatever. But like like how the humans try to like do the Matrix, whatever. But at the end of the day, Super Mecha Godzilla vs. Final Wars Godzilla, I can understand how you view that statement and how. You see how he does on screen, how he performs on screen, and compare it to, how the Heisei era, they're a little bit more slow and whatever. So yeah, I can definitely see how you'd say Final Wars Godzilla would win. Personally, there are two scenarios for me. There is a scenario for Final Wars Godzilla winning. There's a scenario for Super Mecha Godzilla winning. So yeah, that's my take on it.
I'm not totally against him like winning 100% of the time.
Right. Yeah.
Because But while I've got you, because I know you might be going soon.
Right.
Me and Lemon have been arguing over these. So Shimo, right?
Yeah.
Whatever I say goes. I'm the boss.
Apparently froze once zero, right?
Yes. In the novelization, it's confirmed that Shimo. So like when Monarch is discovering Ghidorah. They see they analyze the ice and they relate it back to Titan H. That's like Shimo's name in the novelization. So yeah, Shimo is the one.
Monster Zero's scales are designed to be in space, which is like they're not really going to be freezed easy.
Here? Let me ask you something. I don't know this for sure. I'll admit I know a lot about Godzilla, but not everything. Is space absolute zero? Yes or no? What's the temperature in space?
I can see in the minuses anyway, ain't it?
Yeah, okay, so if it's anything but absolute zero... Actually, wait, hold on. I don't think Shimo shoots absolute zero. That actually might be an error on my part. Because in order to reach absolute zero, it wouldn't be shot out as a beam. But yeah, okay, hypothetically, Shimo, obviously... I mean, I would say Shimo's ice powers would probably be colder than space. So... Again, I don't really know, this is all, theoretical, because it's we can't exactly go against what the Monsterverse is saying, the Monsterverse is saying Shimo froze Ghidorah. We can only try to explain it for it to make sense to us the best we can. Now, the whole, it's kind of ambiguous of how it even happened. In the Godzilla King of the Monsters theater program, it explains how Godzilla and Ghidorah's last final confrontation is how Ghidorah ended up in ice, but then the GXK novelization basically contradicts that and says, oh, Shimo's ice remnants are on Ghidorah, which is why Ghidorah got frozen, how Ghidorah got put into the ice in the first place. So it's like, when Ghidorah got frozen in ice, was it Godzilla and Shimo working together to do that? Or was it Shimo by himself? Or was it Godzilla by himself? It's like, it's very ambiguous to that, so.
So I looked it up, and it does say Shimo shoots at absolute zero, but I can't find anything that actually backs it up. So I don't know.
I believe it might have been somewhere in the novelization, because I remember when the novelization came out
about it. Yeah.
So okay, now if Shimo does shoot absolute zero, then it absolutely makes sense that she would be able to freeze Monster Zero, because as long as space is warmer than absolute zero, then yeah, it would make sense.
That's fun. I don't think it's absolute. I don't know, because you do freeze in space.
Yeah.
You have the novel?
I used to have the novels. I rented the novelization and put it on audio play. What is the temperature in space? Let's see.
Isn't absolute zero negative 400 something? Or am I geeked?
Is approximately 2.7 kelvins. So then, what is the temperature of absolute zero?
Probably zero.
Okay. So, wow, space is almost absolute zero. Absolute zero is negative 270 Celsius, but absolute zero is negative 273 Celsius and anything lower. So it's almost. Actually, that's honestly a good point, Ted, now you bring that up. How in God's name could Ghidorah survive flying through space, to the 270 negative Celsius, and with no problem whatsoever, just traveling through space, but then be frozen to Shimo's ice powers? Maybe because it added up, it built up the ice powers or whatever. So yeah.
You're not gonna stand there and let him do it, are you?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because it's not gonna be instant if it's only just beating him.
Yeah,
Gonna be
right.
slow.
You know. Yeah, no, 100%. Honestly, what was it?
Just,
Honestly, I actually might take that. You know, Ted, I appreciate it, man. That's another short idea I could make. You know, I already have like, I've been pumping out shorts like daily. I have, you know, stuff in the works and everything.
Bro, we told you it'd be worth it.
Yeah, you're right.
That brings up a lot of
Goji Guy
points.
Raid. Who am I playing with? So playing with one of my homies, Lemon, who's the owner of Age of Titans. Also talking with this guy named Ted about some Godzilla debates, and Jinx is also in the voice chat. He's one of my server admins and mod in the live chat. Well, the ice is solid, space isn't. Yeah, no, that's exactly what I was saying, getting at, Ryan. You know, space, it's like it's taking up a like, you know, it's space, right? But Shimo's absolute zero. It's a constant beam that's creating ice by firing it, and it's gonna build up, and that's how it would most likely trap Shimo.
Yo, Jinx.
Yo,
You know who Ted would like dislike?
what?
No disrespect, Goji Guy, but he would dislike Goji Guy a lot.
Hey, Goji Guys on the
Probably.
stream. Someone said,
Yeah.
I just got off Goji Guys live stream because it ended. He said to tell you that Supercharged Evolve Godzilla demolishes thermonuclear. You know what?
Oh
Look,
my
at the end of the day, man. Like, I'm not even gonna. You know what? I'm gonna be the bigger person.
You'd
I'm
make
not
Ted
gonna.
angry with that
I'm not
statement.
gonna get into it because I did for like the first 30 or 45 minutes of the stream. I'm not gonna. You know, at the end of the day, I will respect people's opinions. Personally, I have my points. I think I explained my points thoroughly for me to be able to convince people and make my argument make sense that Thermo wins. But yeah, you know, I'm sure there are arguments for both sides, and at the end of the day, that's people's opinion. Enjoy the views. Appreciate you, Ryan. I'll probably call you after the stream. Post more videos. Hey, Gomelion, don't worry, bro. Don't look, man. Listen, I would. This is why I wish I had a face cam. I wish I could stare at the top right of my monitor or whatever my computer is. A full-length FDA video is coming out this Saturday, hopefully. I know I haven't made one in a whole year. Yeah, full-length video is coming out this weekend. And I plan on, you know, trust me, Gomelion, I have plenty more videos coming up. I have like a whole notes app with like 10 different videos. I remember someone commented on my video like, oh, please make a part 3 of like what if Ghidorah defeated Godzilla in King of the Monsters. And I'm definitely open to it. I would have to like think of something. But I have plenty of what ifs made up. I have plenty of versus battles made up. I have, you know, stuff with sci-fi content, Jurassic, Godzilla, everything, man. So, you know, I'm excited to make
Yeah, I
content,
forgot you're
you know.
into Jurassic.
Yeah. Yeah,
Ted's a
dude.
big
More
Jurassic fan
Scar
too.
King content.
More Scar King content. Hey, I got you, Jinx. Hey,
Scar King
Jinx, come on. I did you justice in the what if Godzilla killed Kong. What if Godzilla killed Kong in Hong Kong? I featured Scar King leading a whole army against Mecha Godzilla's army. Too bad Scar King died, but you know.
I'm just messing with you, man.
Yeah, no. I know. But yeah, is evolved thermonuclear possible? Yes, because the way to reach for Godzilla to reach thermonuclear, he has to eclipse his max threshold. Godzilla's max threshold in his evolved state is 20 times his base, meaning that yes, he can still eclipse his max. So yeah, I would believe that evolved Godzilla can go thermonuclear. Check the server. There's Peak in the chat. Let me see. Let me go ahead and check this out. Meet Colossal Threat. Oh, actually, wait. I'm gonna. I need to show the stream this real quick. So
Okay.
a while back, if you guys check my channel posts, you guys will see I had a little picture of Plotzilla. So meet the Colossal Threat, everyone. Tyrannical evil threat to hold on. Wait, am I showing this? Oh, I am. Okay, perfect. Just making sure. Tyrannical evil threat to both Godzilla and Kong. 0 feats, 0 fights, 7 times using Shimo. Give me statements, give me fire, give me claims of being the strongest kaiju, or I retire. Fight Godzilla one-on-one, use Shimo in every situation. That's Peak. Mayo, thank you for that. Thank you, Mayo. This is why you have admin in my server.
That's why that image got deleted and will never be shown again.
Oh, dude, yeah, dude. Honestly, dude, that's perfect, man. I'm gonna make like a little short series on YouTube and TikTok. It's like meet plot like X kaiju. You know, it's like meet Plotzilla, meet whatever. What was it again? What do you guys call it? Meet the Colossal Threat. Meet you know, I don't know, something, but I'll figure it out. You know, these are just ideas. We're spitballing, everyone. So, you know, but yeah.
So, regarding like Jurassic Park or whatever,
Yeah.
Jurassic World, 'cause I don't know much. So, what's your take on Ember versus Giga? Because like
Ember
I'm not
versus
a
Giga?
big fan, but I'm just curious.
So the thing about Ember, I would probably still have Giga over the Rex in general, because the whole thing with Ember is said in, I believe, one of like the commentaries or excess material outside of the movie, to be the strongest Rex in the franchise. It's said to be stronger than Rexy, and you know, Rexy in her prime, because you know, Ember's living on the island. She's hunting. She's in her natural habitat basically. But we also see the Giga at the beginning of Dominion's prologue be, you know, a perfect, like a Rex that completely matches the conditions of Ember. You know, the Rex is hunting, it's fully grown, and the Giga is able to, you know, take clear work of that. So honestly, if I really had to put my finger on it, I would 100% do Giga over Ember. Ember again really only relies on statements. Ember doesn't really show anything, and it's not Ember's fault. It's kind of just the movie. The movie only features the T-Rex in one scene, and a lot of Ember fans would be like, oh, but what was it? Gareth Edwards said in an interview, yeah, so we had this scene planned where the T-Rex was to come out of nowhere and kill the D-Rex, and they'll like to point to that and use it, but the problem is it didn't happen in the film, so it doesn't matter. So yeah, I'd probably still have the Giga over Ember.
Yeah, fair enough.
Sweet.
Wherever you
Are
scaled
you still
on,
a Jurassic fan?
oh dude, I'm big on Jurassic. But my next video next week is gonna be something regarding a Jurassic What If. At FDA, wherever you scale D-Rex is basically a high relative to Ember. So if you have Giga over D-Rex, then Giga over Ember, it's simple. I don't have the Giga over the D-Rex. I don't have the Indom over the D-Rex either. Actually, I have the Indom over the, I have the D-Rex over the Indom over the Giga, Giga over Ember, Ember over Spino, and I think that's it. Yeah. Looking art real quick. I got you. Let me see.
The Jinx Scar King sucks.
Oh my god, okay. Everyone in the YouTube chat, if you guys are in the YouTube chat, you guys can peep. We have another plot-relying kaiju, this time made by Godzilla and it. I appreciate it. Alright guys, let's take a look. Let's take a look at this new, and it features Tiamat, Meat, Potential, Kaiju, beats Kit Kamazatsu and Rodan. Top 10 Kaiju in the Monsterverse. Can win a fight out of water. She's still alive, I swear. Give me liberty, give me water. Give me a weakened Kong, or I retire. 0 feats, 0 relevance, 3 losses. Fight effectively underwater, wrap around my opponent, and get cooked. Thank you, Godzilla and it. I appreciate it. Hey, dude, Godzilla and it, honestly, dude, if I'm going to ask you this, if I could use this for a YouTube short or like a TikTok, I would greatly appreciate it. And hey, man, if you could keep bringing these to me and keep, you know, if you would obviously let me use it and you want to keep making more of these, I would love if I could use this in like a YouTube short or something. That would be hilarious. Hey, Jinx, I'm not going to lie, bro. I'm not going to be able to spare Scar King. But hey, hold on, Lemon, how do I use free cam in this?
Shift P.
Shift P. Appreciate you. Go ahead. Awesome. Appreciate you, Godzilla. Do I still like Kaiju Universe? No. No. Hey,
Universe.
Do one for Godzilla Evolved. Hold on, guys. I'm about to push y'all on. Give me a sec. It's not specifically for Godzilla Evolved, but I'll make one honestly, because I know exactly how I would do it. But here's one for Godzilla. Let me see if I can pull this up. Let me see. Let me like use my snipping tool and post it in art. Just give me 1 second, everyone. Okay, so it's gonna be a bit of a small image, but we're gonna go ahead and take a look at it. All right, everyone. This is the first one. This is the creator. This is the Adam and Eve of these creations that we're all making. So everyone, I would like to introduce you guys to Plotzilla. Everyone, meet Plotzilla. Every new enemy is an ancient rivalry, so they can pull the good old. Wait, what does that say? Oh, pull the good old and lazy. He already knows how to deal with them, BS. Give me fuel, give me fire, give me a toying statement, or I retire. Apparently defeated the entire Scar King army alone, but it couldn't handle 2 cockroaches, even after a nuke buff in the 50s. Godzilla is allowed to train and absorb radiation before a fight, but God forbid a monkey gets a yellow glove. Every time he fights Kong, the monkey gets 50 times more stupid, along with 500 other plot conveniences like a sudden sandstorm. Godzilla. He wasn't knocked out, I swear. Both the actors, the suit motion actor, capture guy for Kong and GXK, and the novel state that Godzilla was knocked out. Mothra, help me. This is base Shimo Ghidorah I'm up against. And Godzilla ended with another one. Here we go. Meet potential kaiju. All right, let's go ahead and read this one. This will be probably our last one.
Bro.
Last one, I promise. Last one, I promise. He's the strongest in the verse. Kong only stunned him. He could have beaten Mecha Godzilla at full power. The rival didn't win fairly. Give me liberty. Give me help outside. Give me outside help. Give me a half-dead Ghidorah, or I retire. 0 fights without help. 0 family members left. 7 power-ups against weak kaiju. Stand on business and kill Ghidorah normally. Power up like a coward and still almost die? Hell yeah. Thank you, Godzilla added. These are peak, man. I love this. these are awesome. These are awesome.
That's the best one.
That's honestly that's the best one right there.
Ghidorah or
Yeah, give me a half-dead
Yeah, I just
Ghidorah
said
or
it.
I
Yeah.
retire. It's peak. I
I
love
got a
it.
question for you, right?
Yeah.
Do you think, because I think, right, that they've been trying to push Kong on us because they don't want to keep buying the license for Godzilla?
I wouldn't really say that. I think what is it? The license for Godzilla, you know, as long as those Monsters movies keep making money. I mean, even though GXK is arguably the worst Monsterverse film, what is it? It made the most money. It grossed like $560 million, I believe, if not $570 million. So I mean, over $500 million. And, you know, as long as they can keep pumping them out, making them money, realistically, I see Supernova. If Supernova flops and doesn't do good, maybe the Monsterverse might be in a bit of trouble there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say jeopardy of not being able to continue, but definitely a bit of trouble there. But I think Supernova is going to do good. Depends how they market it. But, nah, I don't think they're forcing Kong onto us. If anything, while yes, Kong has been more center focused, I will admit, as a Godzilla fan, it's definitely easier to make a story out of Kong since he's an ape. A lot of audiences can resonate with Kong more often than they can with Godzilla. But
Hey, Kong.
yeah, but what I've heard is that this new Supernova film is supposed to feature Godzilla a lot more. So I think we're gonna be good. But already, I
Space
think,
Godzilla as well, isn't it?
yeah, Space Godzilla, you know, it got leaked, so, you know, hopefully it can, you know, live up
have you seen
to
the
how
new
it did in
trailer?
Heisei.
Have you seen the new trailer for the new one? I saw a video and it was saying that maybe this new moniker of
Oh, Titan
Like
X?
Monsters or whatever.
yeah, he's going to be somehow linked to Space Godzilla.
I don't really know how. I don't really know how, but
Well, I've seen some images of it, and it does kind of have like Godzilla features.
yeah, maybe that could be like an attempt to splice Godzilla's genes and accidentally creating something. You know, obviously the 2 irises in its eye as well. Maybe, I don't really know. I don't really know how you'd explain the tentacle thing. Godzilla guy made a good theory on it though. But yeah, all right. I think I'm gonna leave the VC for now. Jinx, thank you for telling me to join and convince me. This was actually a load of fun, and I'll definitely join this for future streams. But appreciate you for having me on, Lemon.
See you, bro.
Alrighty, see you guys.
buddy.
Alrighty, we're gonna go back to the stream here. But apparently, I'm supposed to check DMs. Fraudzilla evolved. I'll make an image for you, bro. Hey, I appreciate the image, Acid. I appreciate it, man. Oh my god, it came from the breach. Dude, no, that's what I'm saying, bro. Dude, honestly, Titan X reminds me of Otachi from from Pacific Rim. I'll cry because I'm a Ghidorah fanboy. Just don't make one for Ghidorah. Dude, hey, Louis, we are in the same boat, bro. We're in the same boat, man. Ghidorah is my favorite kaiju in the Monsterverse. I love the Monsterverse Ghidorah's, sorry, wow. I'm fumbling over my words here. Ghidorah's design. I think it's absolutely phenomenal. Couldn't get any better than that. Fraud Godzilla has evolved. Yeah. Have I watched Goji Center's new video? Is it the sauropod from, Primal? Like the infected, the mad sauropod on, what was it? Was it on Skull Island? I think it was. Yeah. You're gonna make a Ghidorah one? No! Godzilla and if you make a Ghidorah one, I'm gonna make a Kamacuras one. What's up, my homie? I'm sorry I was late. I was just watching Gamma Rebirth. You should watch it. It's a peak show. I have watched Gamma Rebirth. I watched it when it first came out. But welcome to the stream, Michael Bowser. I don't think we're going to be streaming for too much longer. But I think today was a fun stream. You know, definitely some ranting, some crashing out, some stuff and whatever. Yo, Lemon, if you're watching, let me play as G19. For those who don't know, this is the G19 model. This is the G19 model in Age of Titans. Looks really, really nice, though. The particles on it, I love it. Oh, I'm sinking through the ground. But, yeah. The first movie I saw was Dorm. Oh, you were in your dorm when you saw Ghidorah on screen when I was, like, 7? Oh, when you were born. Okay, sorry. I'm looking at dorm because, like, right now I'm in my college dorm. Yo, Ant. Yo. You want to say what's up to the stream? Alright, bet. Yeah, my roommate Anthony, I look you feel bad. Was I being too loud when you were sleeping or not? Nah, I was dude, he was out. That's perfect. That's perfect. I can make content and stream for y'all while my homie's sleeping. But yeah. So the first when you were born, Ghidorah on screen when you were like 7. My favorite kaiju. That's awesome, man. Back in 2019, what was I? I think I was 12. I think I was 12 back in 2019. Because I'm 19 now. But dude, oh man, I remember seeing, dude, I can't, you guys don't even know, bro. Like, I can't believe King of the Monsters, like the advertising, though, they spoiled Burning, though. I remember they had that one TV spot of his foot, like, melting the bus stop or whatever. That was so annoying. That was so dumb. If you make another what if, you better add my goat Rodan and give him a special role. I got you. But next what if is gonna be Jurassic centered. My first Godzilla movie was Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah. Godzilla and was it Godzilla like the 1991 version? Actually, wait, I don't think there is a Godzilla vs. Ghidorah movie that's titled that besides the one in 91. But if so, dude, I loved that movie as a kid with the aliens and everything. That was sick. I loved it, man. But my first Godzilla movie was actually Godzilla 1998. I specifically remember it. I was in my old house. I was upstairs. I had like this old TV, and I was looking at like the cable TV, and my dad put on, he had showed me Jurassic Park first, and he put on the Godzilla 1998 film for me, and I watched it, and man, even though, you know, my first Godzilla movie technically wasn't quote-unquote Godzilla, you know, we consider it as Zilla, as its own kaiju, but man, dude, I remember watching that. That's what started my love for Godzilla and everything. Yesterday, Ryan pulled up with the toy arguments for Evolved Godzilla. I'm not trying to start anything. Yeah, no, we're not going to start anything, but I mean, again, bro, like, dude, you're using the toy, like, it's like, what is it? It's that ad. It's like, fearsome Godzilla has evolved to become more powerful than ever and joins the mighty Kong with his powerful beast glove. I think it's that one, right? But yeah, like, just that was like, bro, come on, really? Not to mention, like, the ad, it shows base evolved. So, like, bro, my first Godzilla movie, yeah. Opinions on Buck versus Acid 87. So, honestly, dude, like, as much of a Jurassic fan as I am, I always get confused. Like, okay, so Acid 87 versus, like, the Camp Cretaceous Spino. Like, what's the difference? I feel like, are they not the same thing? However, look, I love the Spinosaurus. I'm kind of a bit, you know, kind of becoming a Spinosaurus fanboy. However, Indominus is my favorite. But usually when I go into these debates, I'll always go in with no bias. If someone proves me wrong, they prove me wrong. But when it comes to Spino versus Buck, it's like the Buck and Doe. I don't really know what statements the Buck and Doe have for them from the Lost World. As 87 C-Series Spino are the same person. Okay, just making sure. I don't really know. The thing about like T-Rex versus Spino in the whole Jurassic franchise is, when you look at the CGI model of the bull T-Rex in JP3, it was full size. It was a complete full-grown adult T-Rex, but because of the backlash that JP3 got back in 2001, they literally changed the CGI model. They put a whole thing out. Oh, the T-Rex wasn't fully grown and whatever, so it's like, I don't know. I feel like my heart's telling me Spino, like Acid 87 over Buck. I don't know. I would happily do a video on it. I would love to do like Jurassic versus battles. I haven't done too many on the channel. I believe the only one I did was Giga versus Indom. Spino gets statements. Yeah, I think so. The Camp Cretaceous one is older. Have I seen the new Kaiju Rising 6.0 videos? I have not. Jurassic World what ifs are going to be peaked. Yeah, dude, I'm really excited to make some. He said it's because Toho and Legendary had to sign it off. Do I watch Slick's videos? Yes, I do. Yeah, no, I know Ryan's argument for the whole toy thing is like, oh yeah, Toy and Legendary had to sign off what they say in the toy. I think it's common sense that yeah, they're gonna do anything to promote them to buy the toy, you know, and it's like, again, if you're gonna use that argument, then you have to argue base evolved over Thermo, and that falls apart. I mean, bro, he got knocked out by Kong, and if you want to argue Kong over Thermo, God help you. Yes, I do watch Slick's videos. I actually really like Slick's videos. I remember one time, I commented on Slick's Thermo vs Supercharged Evolved video, and what was it? He actually, I was actually really surprised. I am a big fan of Slick, you know, and obviously he has like 700k subs on YouTube. I have 44k, and I really liked his, you know, I like his animations, whether, you know, it shows Thermo winning or not. I commented his video, I was like, oh, Thermo, my glorious Pookie Bear, where do I even start? And he replied to my comment, he was like, oh, dude, like, the video you made on it, like, it inspired me. I was like, dude, wow. I was actually really surprised, you know, I was like, damn, you know, I'm getting there, you know? So, like, you know, I think, honestly, Slick's animation is kind of like a really cool representation of how the fight would go. I think the fight would be a bit shorter, but I think it's either Evolved gets, like, disintegrated, or Evolved is incapacitated where he lose a couple limbs where he can't continue the fight. That's the only scenario I see where Godzilla would exit his thermonuclear state because, you know, he can't sustain it for very long. But if Evolved is able to survive it, he would be severely incapacitated. But more often than not, my opinion and my arguments for Thermo being above Evolved wouldn't really survive that. What up, Siphon? Welcome to the stream, bro. Will you do a tournament tonight? I don't really know how a tournament would work in Age of Titans. I don't really know like how we do that. Mecha Godzilla Toy said he was the strongest villain of Godzilla, so I can't. Louis, thank you for that. Actually, thank you. I'm actually gonna add that into the script I already have written for Thermo vs Evolved when I make a future video on that. Let's see, how long have we been streaming? Roughly 2 hours. So honestly, damn, Siphon, it's low-key kind of a bad time to join the stream, man. Usually, you know, you guys, for you guys that tune into the streams and everything, you guys know that I kind of stream for 2 hours every now and then, usually around 2 hours. But Louis, if you could join the Discord, the Discord is linked in the description. If you could join the Discord and DM me on Discord where the Mecha Godzilla toy says he's like the strongest, the strongest villain of Godzilla, I would appreciate that. But yeah, guys, I think I'm gonna go ahead and end stream here. You know, I've been, you know, live for 2 hours. I have some more editing to do, and obviously, you know, I gotta, you know, I'm gonna talk to my girlfriend. You know, I need to spend some time with her, right? So I appreciate every single one of y'all for stopping in the stream. If you guys want to go rewatch it, if you joined late and want to miss anything, feel free. You know, and on some real shit, guys, you know, before I end the stream, I just want to say, like, I made a channel post about this, but I really appreciate every single one of y'all for the support that I've been getting on the channel recently. With my, like, coming back to YouTube, past week, I've gained over 1,000 new subs. And don't worry, I'm still making full-length videos. I've only started with, like, short videos just to get the audience back into it, just to get the channel back alive before I actually make a full video. So, again, I really appreciate every single one of y'all for, you know, supporting the channel. But I'll probably end up streaming tomorrow. If not tomorrow, then the day after. I try to stream every other day, and I know I haven't really been getting into like daily streaming because it's like, you know, I'm trying to edit, I have school, you know, obviously gotta spend time with my girlfriend. But, you know, I'm gonna wrap it up there. I appreciate you guys for stopping by the stream, and I will see you guys in the next one, probably tomorrow, but if not tomorrow, then later. And feel free to go check out my, you know, new YouTube shorts, old videos, and, you know, I hope to see you guys tune in for this week's video. But peace out, y'all.